If you think good wine has to be expensive, I have great news for you. It doesn't. There are bottles that taste like they belong in a luxury restaurant but won't break the bank. Today, I'll walk you through 5 wines that feel high-end but remain surprisingly affordable. If you want to learn how to navigate the wine world without overpaying for labels or hype, make sure to subscribe. I explain everything simply and honestly. Let's get into it. The first wine I want to recommend is Marquez di Barola Barbera d'Alba Peiragal 2021 from Piedmont, Italy. Priced around €27 or about $30. This Barbera is vivid robin color with aromas of blackcurrant, blackberry, wild berries, toasted hazelnut and vanilla. The tannins are soft, the body is elegant, and the overall balance makes it feel far more expensive than it is. It's perfect with meat dishes or curd meats. Next up, Domaine Huet Vouvray Le Mont Sec 2023 from the Loire Valley. This is dry Chenin Blanc, typically around $35, and it offers incredible clarity and finesse. You get mineral notes like whetstone and flint, alongside with bright lemon and grapefruit. It's great with river fish or shellfish. What makes this bottle special is how precise and clean it feels, almost like a white Burgundy. Think Chablis, which also delivers high acidity and minerality, but this comes at a fraction of a price. Now let's go to Burgundy, my favorite, but without spending a fortune. Domaine Amula Chablis Premier Cru Borois 2020 is a beautiful Chardonnay for about $40. It has a pale straw color, aromas of acacia and yellow fruit, and just a hint of sea breeze. The flavor is elegant with a round mouthfeel and savory, salty finish. Pair it with mushroom, poultry, risotto, or seafood. It gives you that Premier Cru depth, but still costs under half of what top-tier Burgundy would. Next, we head to Argentina with El Enemigo Malbec 2021, usually about $25. This wine offers violet lavender, ripe dark berries, vanilla, and subtle toast. It's a full-bodied smooth with fine tannins and fresh acidity, a very layered wine. The blend includes Cabernet Franc and Petit Verdot, which adds complexity. This is the kind of bottle you served at a dinner party and people assume you spent double the price. Finally, let's go to South Africa. Groot Constantia Shiraz 2021 is about $20-25 and offers rich aromas of plum, cassis, white pepper, and clove. The palate is deep and spicy with good acidity and savory, slightly smoky finish. It's fantastic with roast meats and strong cheeses. South African wines, unfortunately, are still underrated in many markets, but when done well, like this one, they absolutely shine. Now let's talk about why these wines taste expensive. It's not about the grape or the country. What makes a wine feel premium in balance, length of flavor, complexity, and texture. A good wine should feel layered. It changes as you sip, the flavors evolve, and nothing feels too sharp or too flat. That's what gives expensive impression. So why get 2 wines made from the same grape cost so differently? It often comes down to branding, land prices, and prestige. A wine from a famous region or big-name producer might be double the price of a similar wine produced from a lesser-known neighbor, even if the quality is comparable. You're often paying for the reputation, not just what's in the bottle. Take Burgundy, for instance. The legendary Romanée-Conti vineyard, owned by Domaine de la Romanée-Conti, or DRC, just sits a couple of meters away from La Grande Rue, owned by Domaine Nicole Lamache. Both produce Pinot Noir from virtually identical terroir, yet a bottle of Romanée-Conti might cost up to €30,000, while Grand Rue is priced between €500 and €1,500. The difference? Not necessarily quality, but legacy, scarcity, and prestige. What should you look for when buying wine? 3 things: the grape variety, the region, and the producer. If you recognize any 2 of the 3, you are usually safe. And don't underestimate smaller names. Sometimes they deliver much more than the famous brands. Personally, I've been pleasantly surprised by wines coming from places like South Africa, Hungary, and parts of Portugal. These regions offer brilliant quality but don't carry the price tag of France or Italy. And that's where the real value lies. Now let's talk supermarkets. Are supermarkets wines always bad? Not necessarily. Many supermarkets stock well-made wines, especially if you check the back label for details. Look for wines with clear origin, estate bottling, and ideally a vintage year. Avoid the ones with vague labels and no story behind them. Price isn't always giveaway, it's about the information you get. And what if your budget is tight? Then focus on freshness and balance. Don't chase complexity at low prices. Look for wines that are simple but well made. A crisp white or a juicy red with no oak can be much more enjoyable than a cheap bottle trying to be serious but falling flat. And always look for wines from less trendy regions. You'll find far better value there. So here's the bottom line. Good wine isn't all about price. It's about balance, flavor, and enjoyment. And if you are curious, open-minded, and pay attention to details, you can find wines that over-deliver and taste like they belong to a much higher bracket. If you found any budget wines that felt luxurious, share them in the comments. I love hearing about your discoveries. And if you want more honest wine tips without the snobbery, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.